Welcome back everyone. We're going to be doing a actual full in-depth comparison between the Samsung Galaxy S9 and the iPhone SE2. Now I'm going to turn the brightness down a little bit on this one. Now with the iPhone SE2, it is pretty much the newest, latest, and greatest budget phone from Apple, which is really cool. But the Galaxy S9 is very interesting because it was the flagship at one point. This phone was pretty much like, I would say, like the iPhone 11 Pro of that day and age because we had the Plus model. So this one, back in 2018 was that flagship, which is really cool. Now, there's a lot of advantages and disadvantages for both phones, if being honest, but I'll try my best to give, my most, unbiased opinion. I mean, I'm so involved with both of these different lineups. Like, I don't just own an iPhone or Android, I own both of them, like, extensively. I've used both, so it's weird, though, because with that 2018 phone, like the Samsung Galaxy S9, it doesn't cost the same price as it did before, but it is pretty much the same hardware, the same everything, and even if you look at phones nowadays, like, they still are pretty much the exact same way. Now with the iPhone SE2, this phone costs about $399 in the brand new market. I mean, you can still only buy it brand new, so it costs about $400. Whereas on the S9, you can pick one of these things up for like less than $300 on Amazon, and I'll leave both of these linked down below so you can get them from there. I'm also still giving away an iPhone SE2 if you want to enter. Links will be down in the description. You just have to follow me on Twitter and Instagram and subscribe to the channel. I'll be picking the winner on May 8th. But looking on the front, this is probably one of the bigger differences. I'll start off with the iPhone SE2. This thing has a 4.7-inch 750p panel, and it's not a bad panel. I've always said this, it's not an ugly panel or anything like that. The viewing angles are pretty good for the most part, and if it being IPS, you're not going to get that burn-in like something like an OLED panel can. But even that's a reach because I still love OLED way more than IPS. However, you still have True Tone, you still have, a pretty good panel overall. The biggest downside, you do have a lot of bezel around it, so the sides are pretty slim, but on the top and bottom, it's not really the best looking phone in the world anymore, especially when you compare to other phones, even in the budget realm, like the Samsung Galaxy A series, the A51, the A71, the A40, whatever ones they have. Those phones, they do a really good job at slimming down the bezels. I don't really know why Apple couldn't do it here. Those phones are even cheaper than this one too, but it is what it is. Whereas on the Samsung Galaxy S9, we actually have a 5.8-inch Super AMOLED display, so about 1.1 inches bigger than this. But in the hand, it doesn't really feel that much bigger, if I'm being honest, just because of the bezels. I'll put them side by side like this. And the S9 definitely is a little bit taller, but the iPhone SE2 seems maybe a little bit thicker. I don't know, maybe it's like a placebo effect, but it is whatever. The S9 though does feel really good in the hand, and I think it does overall feel more premium than the iPhone SE2. With that OLED Super AMOLED display, it's 1440p, and it's one of the nicer panels for sure. It's not the nicest panel, but it definitely is a really, really good panel at the end of the day. If you compare this to something like an S20 or something, like, you probably won't be able to tell too many differences. Obviously, the S20 newer phones have that 120Hz refresh rate, but this one, in terms of just, keeping at that stock rate, it's a really good panel, and I really, really do like this panel a lot. And obviously, between both of them, I would rather have the Samsung Galaxy S9 panel over the iPhone SE2 panel any day. Now on the bottom, they have headphone jack on the S9 as well as USB Type-C and a lightning port on the iPhone SE2. And on the back, glass backs on both, a fingerprint sensor on the S9, which some people might like. You have the fingerprint sensor on the front of the SE2. Single camera setups on both, glass backs on both. Both have wireless charging, which is really cool. The S9 does have that really cool feature of having the microSD card slot, which is awesome. The SE2 does not have anything like that. Obviously, the iPhone series doesn't have anything like that ever. But that's a really cool thing that the S9 has. And what that means is you can get the base model of the S9 and, even save yourself even more money than getting a top tier model and expand that storage with the microSD card slot. But the base model of both these phones are pretty much the same, the 64 gig, so kind of a weird thing about that. But both phones have IP certification, IP68 dust and water resistance on the S9, but IP67 dust and water resistance on the iPhone SE2. And in terms of the outside, I mean, that really pretty much covers it up for the most part. Definitely the S9 looks and feels more premium than the iPhone SE2. Actually, I kind of take that back. I think the SE2 feels a little bit more premium, but the Galaxy S9 looks a little bit more premium, if that makes any sense. So that's pretty much where I stand for that. Now moving on to the software, this is the aspect where the SE2 definitely beats the Galaxy S9. The Galaxy S9, came out in 2018. It's already pretty much outdated in software. It has One UI 2. I have One UI 2 on it right now, and it's not probably getting any more software versions. I really hope I'm wrong, and I really hope it does, but based off Samsung's past behavior and everything, it really doesn't look like they're going to be doing it, which is really stupid in my opinion. Whereas on the iPhone SE2, this thing is just started getting updates. I mean, this thing, started off with iOS 13. It already got an update when we got it, which was really funny, and It's going to be getting iOS 14, 15, 16, 17, maybe even 18. I don't really know, dude. This thing's going to be lasting a long time. Now, if you get both of these phones right now, within a year of me making this video, then they're both probably still going to be, on the same version of software for their counterparts for the most part, especially when you compare it to a lot of other phones in the market. But the Galaxy S9, it's not even, you can't even easily custom ROM it. There's really not a lot of customizability you have with the phone, like a stock Android One UI 2 phone. But however, on an Android phone, just in general, you have a lot more customizability on this type of phone than you have on this one. So, that's another thing to keep in mind. Even though you're not on the most up-to-date version, you can still get a lot of, extra launchers and stuff like that to really change the way your phone feels versus something like on an iPhone SE2. But definitely in terms of software, the SE2 wins. Now I'll go ahead and do a little bit of a speed test between both of them. Now it's not going to be a full in-depth one. If you want a full in-depth one, I'll eventually do one, but I'll tell you the specs really quickly. The iPhone SE2 has that Apple A13 Bionic chip, hex-core CPU, and 3 gigs of RAM on all the models. With the Samsung Galaxy S9 has the Qualcomm Snapdragon 845 chipset, octa-core CPU, and Adreno 630 GPU, and 4 gigs of RAM on all the models. So let's go and see which one is the faster one between both of these. Okay, now that we're back, let's go and clear out all the apps in the background. Now on my Samsung Galaxy S9, it's pretty easy. On my iPhone SE2, it's going to take a second, so please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, we're back, so let's go and start loading these things up. Let's go ahead and do their respective Play Store and App Store. 3, 2, 1. And that one was actually kind of tough to say. I'm not really too sure, but definitely in the scrolling speed, you can see the Galaxy S9 is glitching all over the place, where the iPhone SE2 is extremely smooth. So an extremely important thing to note. I guess we can just start loading up these third-party apps now. We can do Twitter. 3, 2, 1. And definitely for sure the SE2 was the faster one there. And it kind of crashed on this one. I'm not really too sure why. Facebook. 3, 2, 1. And again, SE2 is faster, followed by the Galaxy S9. Fruit Ninja. 3, 2, 1. And that's another thing to keep in mind. For some reason, I don't know why, whenever you click a game on the Galaxy S9 or really a lot of other Galaxy S series phones, it just glitches up. I don't really know why it happens like that all the time. It's kind of weird. But again, the iPhone SE2 definitely won that one. We can do Snake versus Blocks. 3, 2, 1. And for sure, iPhone SE2 definitely won that. That one was much closer though than I thought. Getting into some gameplay, we'll see if there's a difference, and I don't think there's really going to be that big of a difference. Can do Netflix. 3, 2, 1. And definitely SE2 won, followed by the Galaxy S9 at some point. I don't know what's going on with this phone. And then I guess we'll just leave that inconclusive. The SE2. Oh, now we eventually get into it. So that took a long time on that phone. Snapchat. 3, 2, 1. Actually, I think the Galaxy S9 was faster there. That one was really surprising to me. Quizlet. 3, 2, 1. And that one again was a little bit tough on both. Not really too sure which one won there. Temple Run 2. 3, 2, 1. And the SE2 seems to be in the lead, followed by the Galaxy S9 kind of behind it a little bit. Not like a crazy big difference in my opinion, but definitely the SE2 was the faster one. Let's get into some gameplay and see if any of them stutter. And I'm not expecting either one to, but who knows, I could be wrong. They might. They both look about the same, so okay, that's a good sign. Let's go and end it off with the Real Racing 3. 3, 2, 1. And again, even with the S9, like sometimes I wonder if I clicked it because it just glitches up so much like that. And it's looking like the SE2 definitely won. And the Galaxy S9 is coming in a little bit behind. Nothing like too insane. I'm not gonna like make fun of it too much, but yeah, for sure at the end of the day, the Galaxy S9 was the faster one there. Now, in my opinion, which one was way faster than the other one? Obviously, I think the iPhone SE2 is the faster and smoother phone overall. However, I've been having a weird issue with the SE2 with, it being the RAM management side of things, so I will test it thoroughly further and see what goes on, but between both, I'll probably say the SE2 is the faster one between that. But if you guys want, I'll do a full in-depth speed test while I'll test the RAM and everything, kind of like what I've already been doing the last couple week or so. And just like the speed comparison, if you want, I'll do a full in-depth camera comparison as well, but I'll briefly hit on them in this video. They both have single camera setups on the back. The Samsung Galaxy S9 has a 12 megapixel sensor, as well as the SE2. They both have 12 megapixel sensors on the back, which is really cool if you guys are into that. They both can do 4K at 60, which is really nice. And between both, I really don't know which one is the better one. I want to say, as I've said before, I think camera quality and photo quality look better on the Samsung Galaxy S9, but overall, like everything else, the video quality and everything, I think looks better on the iPhone SE2. So I don't really think there's like a clear like 100% winner, like it's winning every single time. But probably I would end up siding for the SE2 being the overall better camera, but the Samsung Galaxy S9 taking the better photos. So, you know, they both pretty much have the same features, 4K 60 like I stated. You both have single camera setups on both, so they're both lacking the ultra wide and telephoto lenses that a lot of phones nowadays have, even a lot of budget phones have. But it is what it is between both. I don't really think one is like the crazy winner between them. On the front, they do have kind of similar camera setups. They have single camera setups again, 7 megapixel sensor on the SE2, 8 megapixel sensor on the S9. And this one can do 1440p video, this can do 1080p. Other than that, you know, like I stated before, they're pretty much almost the same exact camera setup, so one doesn't really win in terms of the camera setup department. Now ending it off with the battery life, the Samsung Galaxy S9 has a 3000 mAh battery, the iPhone SE2 has a 1821 mAh battery, and between both, bro, like I've stated, dude, I would probably end up siding with the Samsung Galaxy S9. The iPhone SE2 has a very strange battery life, issue. It's not even an issue, it's not that great. I was expecting better from a phone like this, especially from Apple. They've been really improving the battery life of their phones recently, and the SE2 has okay battery life, whereas on the Samsung Galaxy S9, it has tremendous battery life for sure. Like, this phone has okay battery life even now in 2020, when you might do to take kind of a hidden battery life, if I'm being honest, but I still think the battery life on here is a little bit better than the one on the iPhone SE2. It's not amazing, but I think it is better than the SE2. So to kind of sum up the video, man, and to answer the question, which one should you pick up, yada yada yada, I'll probably tell you, dude, if you are in the brand new market, if you want to pick up a brand new phone, iPhone SE2 is probably the better way to go. You know what I mean? Like, it's a brand new phone. I don't even think you can pick these up brand new anymore, so your best bet is like an S10 or S10e. And this phone, I think, is, a good brand new budget phone, priced phone, in my opinion. However, if you're okay with getting a used phone, I think a Galaxy S9 might be the better way to go. But even then, I probably wouldn't even recommend a Galaxy S9, because this one is about to be unsupported with software, I think, within a year. For now, it's good, but long term, I would still probably recommend picking up like a Pixel 3 or Pixel 2 XL or a phone like that. Those phones are cheaper than these ones, but they'll probably end up lasting you longer than these ones too. So, or at least for the Galaxy S9. Probably not the iPhone SE2, but definitely the Galaxy S9. So I'll leave all these phones linked down below if you want to pick them up from there, but that's really pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that means so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys can hit that. Also, check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. All those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate it if you guys would check it out. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.